Let's do it live on a First Friday miracle edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Beau. He is the great Z. The great Gibby is here. Undisclosed location, west side of Cleveland, for 2 more weeks. And then
Getaway
we're back
day for you, though.
in the Snake Pit.
Yeah.
It's a Friday for you.
It is a Friday.
It's not a first
It's an
Friday.
ultimate
real
Friday.
Yeah, these are good First Fridays. I actually was my morning activity was unbeknownst to me until about an hour ago that I'm not doing that tomorrow either.
Oh.
I had forgotten that I had taken it. I thought I was doing that.
Happy Christmas.
So what time do you head into
just a gift. Well, we're not flying until 2:45.
Okay.
So that was the best, most convenient way out.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
By the way, where are the Rugrats staying?
With the in-laws.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. They got father-in-law's got activity upon activity. They're locked in.
Oh, they're locked in.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, they're golfing, they're fishing, they're living their best lives.
How's the weather looking for you?
Typical South, 80s and thunderstorm in the afternoon.
Fine.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
People, the thing you don't understand, unless there's a hurricane down there or some sort of tropical depression, every day it rains really hard, like biblically.
Yep.
And then it's gone.
And it's gone.
And then the sun comes back out.
Gets a little humid.
Yes.
But then
it's
you
the
deal
same
with it.
thing over and over again. So, looking forward to it. I've never been. Love the history of
You're gonna love
Showtown.
it.
Oh.
So
Really
I'm
love it.
I'm excited to see how it goes. So we'll fly tomorrow. So it is. Yeah, this is a get out of town First Friday, which is as good as any First Friday.
I bet my guess is you're going to end up loving it and maybe coming home with some art.
Art. That would be fun.
Yeah. That's
What?
what when we go places that we really,
I like
really
that.
like, we always come back with a piece of art.
I like that
Of
strategy.
the place.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I mean, there's
local
dual
artist.
history here too, right? Because there's the pirate
Dude,
era,
parts.
which
Elite.
I love.
What's not to love?
Yeah, there's a lot to like about that, and then of course the American history part of it with the Civil War and all that. So we get a lot.
You're
going
really gonna enjoy it. It's an awesome city, great culinary city as well, which I know that you will.
We're locked in. I think on all the places you got. The brunch place.
Oh yeah, Magnolia's.
We're in there on Saturday.
Yep.
We've got the Husk. We've got Fig. We've got.
Yep.
So we're not. I think
You're gonna be
we
fine.
hit all the hits.
Yeah,
I think we're playing the hits.
You're gonna. That's what you want to do. You're there to.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not-
there.
to
get the best of
Yeah.
the town. I want you to go to, and I'll give you the name of it. Either tonight when I get back or Thursday.
Okay.
Of the bar that we went to was really cool, like vibey, speakeasy type of a bar that we went to, and that was the place where you were able to do the blind wine taste.
Oh yeah.
And if you got it, your glass was free.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And we did that.
All right.
That was
Okay.
fun. We nailed it.
All right. I like that. Yeah.
Miss K's got an elite palate. She really does.
A few things she doesn't. Elite
Agreed.
across the board.
She is.
Yeah, great human. Very thorough.
Yeah.
Enjoy her a great deal. Miss her.
Went to the same. Went to the Guardians game last night.
Did you really?
Yeah. Miz threw out the first pitch.
Oh, that's right. That's
So
right.
we
How
went-
did he do? Did he?
went to- he
was
good.
It,
Yeah. So he actually
stripe it.
He actually double threw. It was he and Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
And they threw it at the same time, and Miz's was like right over the plate, good, and even got the catcher gave him like the the thumbs up afterwards. So yeah, so he did a great job. And then we hung out and watched what was a very, very boring game for about 7 innings, and then we got 3 innings of fun, and with a walk-off double, or like I don't know how they would officially score it, but it would have been a double down the line.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the 10th for the win.
You stuck it out the whole way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the pitch clock makes being there much more enjoyable because it does go faster. Like you're not in for a marathon. And we just, at a baseball game, you don't have to watch the game very much, really.
That's right. If you have, it's a great porch. It's a view.
It's
view. Really what it is. It's a nice drink. It's a drink among friends. It's a beverage. It's a snack, and it's this is the view. Nice
we
view.
walked in, beautiful night.
Beautiful night.
80 degrees,
Yeah.
sunny, and we walked in. We got the tickets for basically like the corner bar area they're $15 but come with $5 off towards your first drink.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do the math. $10.
sold.
It was great. So
Yeah,
we
it's a
walked right
win.
in. We had a great time. Yeah, hung with the Monicos and George and Gary was in town. Mike and Maurice and the kids were there. It was awesome. It was really a fun.
That's
night.
fun.
The big Kalnicki. We got one of their buddies, Kalnicki, nicest guy. Looks like he could be like straight, like in the show Vikings. Like he is.
Oh, I
a
got you.
Big dude.
Is that any good? The Viking
My dad
show?
loved it. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know how to take that. Like Pedro, there's a wide range of.
He's pretty good on those type of shows.
He's good on that
oh,
stuff?
Yeah, that kind
Okay.
of like
Okay.
any science fiction.
I
or-
feel like
yeah.
that would be a hit for me with
I
the
feel like I
historical
love it.
part of it,
Yeah.
the violence,
Historical
the rating.
fiction, yes,
I like
great.
anybody on ships rating things, taking
Yeah.
over things. I feel like that's a win.
It was funny. When we were down in Mexico, to your point right there about rating things, and you were talking Pirates. they have a ship down in Puerto Vallarta called the Marigalante that you can take. It's a real vintage pirate ship that they built. And you can take it around, the bay, and you can do dinner cruises, and they do a little show, and then they shoot fireworks off, and it's actually a lot of fun. Although the one time I did go on it, we got caught in a storm. We all had to be in the bottom. This is how I'm gonna.
This is how I'm going. Yeah.
In the bottom of a wooden pirate ship, like in the Bay of Banderas. Come on. Anyway, I didn't. Obviously, I'm here. There we go. But think about one day we were walking on the Malecon, and you saw it just kind of sailing across, and it looks like it's like just moving right across the horizon. Mm-hmm. And I said there was a time when if you were in town and you saw that, where it's full on panic, dude. Like
you've seen black sails.
Yes, but I mean, think
you
about
see
how
that
crazy.
coming. Like it's like arm the battle stations.
Like here we go.
You got lookouts.
Yeah, but I was thinking how terrifying that'd be to look out there and like you're looking all the time to never see it, and great, and then all of a sudden. Yeesh.
Nailed it, and then now all of a sudden we got to get guys at battle stations. We got to get organized.
We got to get lucky.
Got to hope for the best.
Yeah.
Hope that we're fortified. I mean,
might not
that's
see anybody we care about ever again.
I thought the first season of Black Sails was sensational.
Oh, so
sensational.
Good. The whole show was good.
It was.
The whole
thing. It petered. I thought in like the final, they probably played. It probably went plenty long.
Yeah.
But the first, it was really strong. That was good, and we were. So the Indiana Jones movie is coming out like in 9 days or something like that. And somebody asked me this morning what like a movie where they did like at least four in a sequel.
Okay.
Your favorite 4+ sequel
of all time.
Yeah. Where it felt like, so there's obviously the Star Wars is in that world, the Bournes are in that world, Mission Impossibles, Rocky's in that world, Rambo's in that world. What got me thinking about this was the Pirates of the Caribbean, which the first one's awesome and the rest kind of suck. Second one's okay.
Give you a little pushback on that.
Second one's okay.
I enjoy them.
The first one's unbelievable.
First one's great. First one's a great movie.
The second one's pretty good too.
Then they bring back the last one. I think was pretty good too, and they kind of tied in everything from all of the different movies.
I don't know if I got that far. I may have petered out after the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how far they went, but that when
Star Wars is probably number one for me. Rocky's pretty good, though, because Rocky IV is a movie that stops me dead in my tracks. I remember everything about it. I remember what it meant culturally.
Yeah,
all of it.
For sure. Well, we're the same age, so that was a big moment, Rocky IV. Rocky III is amazing with Mr. T.
Yes.
I actually think Rocky I kind of sucks. I know that
the originals,
it takes forever.
Thunder Lips, it takes forever.
Yeah, and then 2 is basically a remake of 1. Because that's just him beating Creed at the end versus Creed beating him at the end. So that's just basically running it right back. I'm actually more of a Rambo guy than a Rocky guy, which is a rarity. Most people are pro Rocky, but I like Rambo a little bit more than that. Which also led me to this, talking a little bit about Indiana Jones. Is Indiana Jones the character, the best athlete who isn't an athlete in film? He'd be on a short list, I do think.
So how do you define athlete?
So can't be somebody who played, can't be Johnny Utah in Point Break.
Okay.
Like you could be Bodie. I mean, Bodie didn't play collegiately at Ohio State like Johnny Utah did, so you could be Patrick Swayze. You can't be Forrest Gump. He was an All-American at Alabama. So you can't be that.
Okay.
So you can't be somebody who played a sport as a character. So the ones that you're going to get your Ethan Hunts. You can't be a superhero either. Like, you can't be Hulk.
Okay. I was thinking Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan would be a good one. Feels like he's got a lot going for him.
He did a lot of things.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is pretty good.
Ethan Hunt is almost like a superhero at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much, really, with what he's
about to, in the new one, drive a motorcycle off of a cliff and survive.
That's right.
And he really did that.
He really did that.
Did you see the clips of him doing the cars with the doors open? I was
explaining that to my kids. Remember when we took them to Top Gun, and I was like, they actually did all that. And they were like, yeah, so? And I'm like, everything else you see, they don't.
Yeah.
Everything else that you guys watch is green screen. This is them they actually flew the planes, man. Like that's all real. So, yes, I did see that I think Cruise wouldn't be the worst thing for him, like if he died doing a stunt. I'm kind of convinced that's the way he wants to go.
Yeah, it's certainly in play.
Yeah.
Certainly in play. All right, 2 things that I saw yesterday that gave me a lot of joy. Did either of you happen? You're not hard of seeing, so I'm guessing you did. Did you guys happen to see the footage of people going to a pickup park, playing some hoops, and encountering a team of Michael Jordan and Tom Brady?
No.
What?
No.
I missed this.
Playing pickup hoops together? Yeah.
In the Bahamas?
I don't know where they were.
Jordan's in the Bahamas a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's where he was.
And it's funny when you think of Jordan as a basketball player, you think of him as like smaller, lean, and obviously he's added some weight in the years. But when you're at a pickup against normal people, a 6'6" guy seems like a giant. He looks like Shaq out there, and he's just tooling on people, and Brady's knocking down Jays. I saw yesterday, I want to say on ESPN, they said like on Insta, on Insta. On Instagram, right. I think it was on
I'm picking this up right now. Okay, so this is from 2015.
So it's old?
It's old. Yeah.
Okay, I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but it's from. So I do remember this thing of Jordan. This is in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is in the Bahamas, but it's from a little bit of a ways back. It all holds up. It's all still great.
They should do it more now. Then they're both free.
It says they were playing against Keegan Bradley and Luke Donald.
Yeah, that's how
That's hilarious.
It feels like that would be an absolute beatdown. Yeah, this is in the Bahamas.
It for sure would be a beatdown.
Look at Keegan Bradley.
I mean, what are they going to do against those guys?
I mean, so it looks like there's 3 of them. It's 3-on-3, but it's Brady and MJ are on one
same team. And doesn't Jordan look ginormous?
He looks like a post. Yeah,
he looks like Shaq.
Brady's got a decent stroke.
No, yeah, he has that one from like 17 on the left, free throw line extended.
Got a nice little stroke.
All right, so that was one thing I saw yesterday, which I didn't do the investigation, which I could have done. I just enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah.
The other was I saw this. The privilege of playing Real Madrid was too much for young NBC to bear.
I see that.
Sad. 3-1 over Man City.
And I didn't know at
I'm
first.
dying. I was dying, and I think that's so fun for you.
So he plays for his bedtime every night. So if he
great.
wins, he gets 15 extra minutes. If he loses, off to bed.
Has he won?
So the way that we play is, and if you've played that game, Real Madrid has a goal song that is the greatest goal song in the history of goal songs. Like it's this giant organ.
Okay.
A la Madrid, like this whole, it's just incredible. It goes nuts. So I always, when we first started playing the game like a month ago, I would always play with them. Just quite frankly, because when I used to do all the crew stuff, I would always ask European players if you could play anywhere in the world, where would you play? And 90% of them would say Real Madrid. It's the Kings Club, the white uniforms, the whole bit. Like they're just glamorous, right? So I would play with them, and he would play with Man City, and I would beat him, and then the music would play, and I would taunt him, and he'd get so mad. And so I said, last week I enacted this new policy. I said, you have to earn the right to play Madrid. You can't just, you play with Man City, that's fine, but you're not going to get Madrid every night. Like, you got to I'll be Bayern, I'll be Liverpool, I'll be Chelsea, I'll be Tottenham, I'll be Barcelona, I'll be
any Italian
PSG.
Clubs? Do you ever take a?
Yeah, I played him with Inter Milan.
Yeah,
played him with Inter, played him with Juve, played him with AC. I haven't played him with AC Napoli, so I've played him with all these teams. I win most of them anyway, but he's getting better and better. And so he beat me when he played with Inter, and he beat me once with Bayern, and then 2 nights ago he beat me with PSG. Now, my wife was down there questioning me about like the trip and all of this.
You were distracted.
I had too much going on. I didn't have the focus.
Like that, yeah.
And in that game, like Erling Haaland is so good that if he gets a step, the striker for Man City, you can't get around him.
He's done.
He's too good. Like it's like in the old game, like if you played the old game, like Didier Drogba was like that. If he got a half step, it's a goal. So he scored in the 90th minute to win, and so he's going nuts. And he's like, this was 2 nights ago, and he goes, he's freaking out. Oh, I get Madrid. Give me Madrid. I go,
give me Madrid. Bring on Madrid.
Not tonight. You get him tomorrow. You get the day to think of it. You think on it. You sleep on it. You think about this opportunity that's ahead of you. So last night, he could not wait for the littles to go to bed. He's dialed in. He had played practice games with Man City. He felt like he had a good strategy. And we unleashed the Madristas, and all of a sudden, we're up. We scored in the first 4 minutes. And he goes, long game.
I like it. Patience.
Yeah, he's trying to get back into it. And then the second goal, and then he actually got it to 2-1, and then the third goal that's game set match at that point. So, and I did the whole I recalled so much of my movie going history. I did the whole. It's not so much as that I'm good as it is Real Madrid. They're good.
Yeah.
The Swingers one. It's not so much me as it is Ronick. He's good. So we did that, and then I did the Tombstone. Like when Doc Holliday is holding Johnny Ringo and he's like, "Oh, it's just too much for you to bear." Like I wrestled him and I put his head in a headlock and it's just too much for you to bear. The privilege of playing Real Madrid. And so now he's like, "Well, I want a rematch." I said, "Well, you got to build it back up.
You
Got to go through the gauntlet again. Let's see if you can beat PSG." So then this morning he's like, "Well, who do I get to play tonight?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe Wolverhampton. Maybe we play Fulham. I'll be Fulham. You be Man City. Let's see how that goes."
You're totally addicted again to FIFA.
He can't even look. He's so pissed. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah. And then the bedtime, as I've said before, is like the only thing that matters. It's the only thing I can take from him that is tangible that he hates. And so, like, the fact that he has to go, the fact that I say, "Off to bed, youngster," it's amazing.
So good.
Great.
Oh man, that made me so happy.
Yeah. 3-1.
I feel like I gotta get this FIFA game, and then we can.
Oh my God! It's the most fun ever. It's unbelievable. I can't believe how good it is.
You gotta I'll get it, and after we'll make him. Tell him he's gotta go through me to get to. To get to you.
Yeah, I think you're going to be more than fine. You're quite
I haven't played
good at
FIFA in a long time.
Yeah, but I think you understand. I mean, how great.
I'm just happy that the game still holds up.
All right,
the way it does.
Question. Oh, it's so good. You just feel the joy.
Come on, the joy of it.
All right, here's what I like to propose.
Yeah.
I want you to create a scenario.
Yep.
Where, let's say he gets a win, and we're talking maybe like when you're back from your trip, maybe on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So he gets a win, you build it up, and you tell him that he's playing for an hour.
Okay.
And he's obviously got Real Madrid. You pretend like the other kids go to bed.
Yeah.
But you get them both in kits. And then you have them come down as your like fans talking trash to him in this big game for an hour.
Bootsy
in a Real Madrid kit talking
Going
trash
nuts?
to NBC when you score and he's doing cartwheels. Come on.
That's a punch. That's a punch situation. That's just not.
Well, it's a red card then.
That's red card for sure. Yeah. I actually said to him, I go, "It's really shameful that I don't wear the Real Madrid kit every time I play you."
I want all three of you,
kits.
But I want you to be like, hold on, like wrestling style, like hold on, and start playing that music, and then they come down the stairs into the basement to
stick it to him.
Oh
my God! I will say this: he will get me. He's gonna get me.
He's already beaten you.
He's beaten me. Yeah, he beat me last night when I was playing with PSG. Distracted, but he has. He's getting better. And the other thing that he benefits from is he plays with Man City all the time, so now he knows their rhythms.
Yep.
So he's getting better at like, oh, this guy's supposed to be here, here, here. Like he understands that now. So it's coming. But not yet.
Not yet. That's why I think you got to have everybody out there. I would love that. I'd love to watch that. My dad used to play in a Stratomatic football league.
Of course he did.
Oh, my father was in one.
I love Stratomatic. So we used to play. We used to do baseball season and stuff. But anyway, he played this football league, and one year he was the Seahawks. And they would go, like you'd go sometimes when he was the home team, like the person would come like literally to our house to play. And then on the road, he'd go on the road, and sometimes I'd go on the road with him. But whenever it was somebody at home, he wouldn't tell them, and I'd come in and meet them, nice to see you or whatever, and I'd kind of like go off. And then as soon as they scored a touchdown, I'd run in, and we had like, the mini record players, like the mini records.
Yeah. Yes.
And the Seahawks had a song called the Seahawk Wave. The Seahawk waves on a roll, the tide's rushing in, the Hawks are gonna win. And I'd play this, and I had a Seahawk, an old large jersey that I'd like run around and like taunt the people with, and they would get, sometimes they were not pleased at all, and my dad loved it.
That's pretty good. That is pretty
That's
good.
what I envisioned Bootsy channeling young me.
I have my father's Stratomatic football game.
It's a great game.
It's in the basement. I've gotten my wife to play it once, and she goes, "I hate you and I hate this game."
I once did a season.
It's because I'm owning you.
I did a season with my dad. I ended up being the Bears.
Yep.
Neil Anderson broke the rushing record that year. You would remember Neil Anderson.
I remember.
You're a Bears fan.
University of Florida guy, wore 35.
Yep. Neil Anderson
always had the giant mouth guard. Remember that?
The big one.
The big one, yeah.
So he broke the rushing record, and I remember I saved up money so I could go buy. I think it was back then they were a Logo Athletic Bears hat to wear when I was playing against my dad.
Logo like the old shark tooth one?
Yeah, like a shark tooth one.
Oh, those were so great.
Oh my goodness! When I went to college, I had a shark tooth Falcons hat that
you did.
In Atlanta that I was a big fan of.
It's great. It's great.
But this is fun. You're doing this like it's so fun. There was when Bryce finally got into video games, and now he doesn't like necessarily the sports ones as much, but we would do the wrestling game all the time. When all of a sudden, like, good parenting is playing a video game, which is pretty fun with your son.
That's right.
Like, we're all winning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of winning happening.
Become, like, over the course of the summer, it's become kind of like battle
of the ritual.
And it's a battle of the network stars because it goes 2-on-2 basketball into full court 21 into me versus NBC and 20. Like, he wants a shot at he's at the age, he's 11, he wants a shot at the title and everything. Like, he asks me every day to play one-on-one. He asks me every day we do this this is what he wants to beat me at something. To this point, his only successes have come. Him and Beamsy got me and Bootsy. Bootsy and I had a long talk afterwards. His strategy was not. His efforts on the defensive end were not what I needed. It was not. It was now part of it was
playing Zegura defense.
I was gonna say they were Zegura.
He is your spirit animal on so many levels.
I know.
So his operation was, I said, we're playing a zone. Okay, we got to play a zone because I got to get every rebound. So I'll play down, you play up. I said, I don't need you to be up in them. Okay, they're not going to shoot from 23 feet. If they're going to, we'll rebound it and we'll go. I said, here's what I want. When one of them's going to shoot, run at their feet and then run out on the break.
Yeah.
So I'll get a long rebound.
I was great at that.
You would crush this.
Oh my God, I was great at that. I came at them like this, and just made people uncomfortable.
Make them uncomfortable. They kind of jitter. Then
Not
I'll
actually
rebound
gonna
it.
Jab you.
No, and I'll whip it to
foul.
you, and we'll get a layup. Well, what he was doing was, and they get one block and one steal each on him. As over the course of a game to 21, they can only get one block and one steal. So they have to
save those.
They have to be smart with
Judicious.
that. Yeah, and then the other thing is like if you get a steal, you have to make sure it leads to a layup at the other end. Like it has to guarantee points. So they're starting to figure that part out. Well, he was missing his layups. So I'm like, dude, can you please finish to Bootsy? And then he started like shaking his head and getting mad. And so then he was like half-assing it on defense. So like he wouldn't even hardly cross half court. So, like, we had to have a real powwow about strategy because we'd won the previous two, and they got us twice this weekend. It's not great. Not great.
Man.
Yeah. Not good.
That's so good, though.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I love this.
Yeah.
I want if it ever comes to be, I think you're many, many years off that he takes you down in hoops one-on-one.
Here's the problem,
it's probably
though.
at least
like,
2 years.
I don't play like a jerk. Like, I don't go in the block. Like, all I do is shoot jump shots. So I just shoot threes, or I shoot like – I have two other moves. I do like a baseline shake fadeaway, or I do like a hard dribble fadeaway at like the elbow. And other than that, it's all threes because I feel like, of course, I could just go make a layup. But
there's going to come to a time when you're going.
When I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
So
that's
there
when
was
I
a
knew
game.
My dad knew that I was.
Then you're done.
Yeah,
at that point, then you stop playing. If you're the dad, you could just be done. But the
you got to give them the satisfaction.
No, I will. That will happen.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to earn it.
Yes.
But what happens is, like, if I'm not, especially on a day when I play them 2-on-2 because Bootsy plays on an 8-foot hoop and they play on the other end with a 10. So, like, when I go from an 8 to a 10 hoop, it takes me a minute.
Yeah.
So, like, he hit the other, like, couple of weeks ago, he hit, like, his first 5 possessions, he hit 4 threes. So I'm down 12-0 to 21. Now all of a sudden I've got to get after
take
it.
some layups and play.
Well, no, I don't take layups. But I got to play defense, which really sucks. Is because now I got to get up and
Yeah.
And you're playing 2-on-1.
Well, I'm playing 1-on-1.
Oh,
it's
this
just me against NBC in this case. So I'm playing 1-on-1, but now if I get buried early, then it takes me a minute to eventually, comes back and we're good. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's not gonna be great.
You got a little bit of an advantage on the glass.
Yeah, but I got to run. Like, he's in great shape. I got to chase down everything over and over again. So that part that's not great.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to. The NFL is redoubling its efforts to reinforce the league's gambling policy to players in the wake of a rash of recent violations. All rookies will now be required to attend mandatory education sessions. It's hard for me to read this out laughing. A group of league officials making in-person visits to team facilities to emphasize and clarify what activities are prohibited amid the rapid proliferation of sports gambling. Dude, it's illegal in a lot of states in this country. Like you're chasing your tail on this. This reminds me of the drug policy, honestly.
It should be this simple. Don't bet on the NFL.
Yeah. You want to
End.
if you're
Full
betting
stop.
yeah.
The end.
That's it.
Don't bet on the NFL.
That's it. Full stop.
That's it.
That's how it is in every other
And
sport.
don't have someone bet for you. Like that's
Don't be an idiot.
That's obvious to me. Like that's
Yeah.
part of don't betting on the NFL. Anybody
Right.
you know on your behalf.
Connected.
Like, yes.
Yeah. Don't ever be proven that anybody connected with you bet on the NFL.
Correct.
Or you don't bet on the NFL. Full stop.
Full stop. That's it.
That's it.
Who cares if you bet on basketball where you are?
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So his first one is that. Don't bet on the NFL.
Period. That's
Don't
it.
gamble at your team facility while traveling to a road game or staying at a team hotel. That's absurd.
Why not? Who
You can't bet
cares?
an NBA game.
Because while you're on a
While you're in
Saturday
work-
night,
We're going to stay at the Greenbrier.
Oh,
There's
boy.
not a lot to do at the Greenbrier.
No.
There is one.
There's
but
one.
that's not a sports book.
That isn't a
no,
sports book.
but you
But
and
why
I,
can't they go
you
back-
and I cannot walk in there because
That's
it is
crazy.
a team-sponsored trip.
That's crazy. I don't understand
I
how you
can't
guys
walk
you guys
into a
can't go play
casino.
blackjack?
Nope. No,
that's
because
what
the
I'm saying.
team is paying for the trip.
You can't play blackjack. You can't play poker. What does that have to do with the
You cannot go into a casino.
So they need
on the
to
road
adjust this. This is
Yes.
just like what happened with the marijuana policy.
Yeah.
There has to be an amendment to it to understand that the times they are a-changing. Don't share inside information.
We're aware.
Everyone's aware of that. And by the way, like, how do you think 90% of betting happens for the people who are really good at it? It's inside information. Like,
Las Vegas. where
Why
they
do
get their
line
info.
moves in Vegas?
course.
Lines move in Vegas before stuff becomes public.
of course. Don't enter a sports book during the NFL playing season. I don't understand that either. I don't know how that would have any impact. Just stop it. Don't bet on the NFL. Who cares if they want to bet the Premier League? Why would that have any difference on anything? And don't play daily fantasy football, which that would be under the don't bet on the
bet
NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because daily they can maybe somebody's hurt on your team or a matchup or a game
Yeah.
plan that you would be using inside information. Yeah, don't bet on the NFL. Don't play daily. Season fantasy is obviously fine. Just don't bet on the NFL.
But even the
It's not
season
hard.
fantasy, I think
It's capped
we,
at $250.
Yeah,
or
$250.
By the way, these guys, a lot of the professional athletes, and even go back to like the guys in the NBA. Now, sometimes they would play cards for big money at times, but a lot of times they're playing cards for very little money, and it still escalates into fights or whatever because they just want to compete and they want to just like they're just looking for something to give a little action.
There
a little
were
excitement.
games of skill played in the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh,
About
yeah.
8 years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's
No names, please.
Yeah, that's all.
There were practice squad players, I'm pretty sure, losing checks.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose this is all it's all changed. They're official sports betting partners in this league now. There are going to be
Of the league, of every team.
Multiple. There's going to be actual physical betting parlors in stadiums. Like,
Yes.
don't bet on the NFL. The end.
Yeah.
And
Don't make it more
what I think
difficult
is
than it
even
is.
more wild is that like Gibbe and I, or even take Baco, we're more restricted than the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Vegas.
Like
the
I
first
couldn't bet on
weekend of the
cricket
NC
if I wanted to.
Yeah. First
Really?
week. Yeah. No.
I can't bet on anything.
We're not allowed.
No sports.
I was in
They're
Vegas.
just players are just limited to the NFL.
On the golf trip.
Wow.
On my buddy's golf trip. First week of the NCAA tournament, I could not walk in and place a bet on anything.
That seems crazy.
Now I could go play blackjack. I could go play craps.
Well, no
I could
kidding.
go play all that.
Yeah, but I mean,
because it's the
that's-
off season. But
I don't know. I think that seems.
I could not
you gotta,
bet on like Kent State and Indiana.
You got to get up with the times.
Yep, agreed.
Well, I just don't know what they think. Like
I don't understand what they're trying to do. Like forever, it was the association. They wanted all association with it gone, but we're past that.
I
now.
think it's the fear that there are because people in our jobs have peers all around the NFL that maybe it's an easier information sharing, and then you have peers who do your job in other sports
Yeah.
that you might be in communication with, and maybe they think it's just easy to. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I
stupid.
don't.
Yeah. It is.
Like I would imagine, for me personally,
Yeah.
I'm just singling myself out. I understand if they said don't bet on the NFL.
Yep.
Sure.
I absolutely should not ever be allowed to bet on the Cleveland Browns. Like,
Of course.
that makes sense to me. But what that has to do with Oakland A's, soon to be Las Vegas A's, very sad. Very sad actually seeing my team last night and thinking like the team of my youth is going to be no more. Or in Las Vegas is crazy. Anyway, a little
No,
aside, but
it's-
but it has nothing to do with it. I don't know. I know that they're not good by looking at their record, but that's information everybody in the world has.
Yeah. Well, they it's all on purpose.
Yeah.
They drove
They're
it into the
terrible.
ground to
Yeah,
force
they're a horrific
to
team.
force the move
Yeah.
and the bailout that comes with it. I don't understand while we're on that, why was there never two things? One, could have just been sold to somebody who would have built something in Silicon Valley in the Bay Area.
I'm sure.
Why wouldn't that have happened?
I don't know. They ended up putting the money into, because remember, that was a public coliseum. It was the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
Yeah.
They ended up putting the money in it to build that ridiculous third level in the outfield, Mount Davis for the Raiders. And then I think maybe they felt they'd put too much into it to go. But then the A's were going to play in a ballpark that was going to be, in the various places. I don't know. It's an unfortunate situation. Not Pedro, not pleased about it. And they had that nice, where they did the sit-in and they all came in and the fans showed up. But it stinks because those uniforms they were wearing last night, the same exact uniforms that McGuire and Canseco and all those guys wore, the gray with the script Oakland. The batting helmets had the yellow brim. The hats they wore were all green, which I didn't like as much, but the yellow brim.
The white hat had the yellow brim, though.
The green hat.
The white uniform, they wore the yellow brim.
Yeah, but he went out.
The road was green brim.
Not back then they had one hat.
I'm pretty sure they had a green brim home hat. You would know better than me. But
I'm talking in the
80s,
like a full green.
Yeah, I feel like they had a green lid with a yellow brim.
Yes, yellow brim. Yes.
Yeah, that was it though.
That was the only hat.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were saying they wore the all green.
No,
hat
I'm saying They did not wear an all green. They wore the green with the
yellow brim.
And I was saying last night they were wearing an all green hat, but the batting helmets were still the original
yellow
and the right green. That
yeah.
The right green, not that kind of brighter whatever they have on some of their stuff now.
No, it's perfect.
It was perfect. And I was watching, I'm like, this is perfect. I mean, I remember I went home and actually looked, and I only had homes, though, which I loved. It was back then, it was harder. I don't think people understand. Like, if you wanted a jersey when you were a kid, like, you were limited in what you got. And
dude.
There weren't even
you could not go in a store and buy a jersey.
No. And you
sure as heck, there was obviously no internet. The only way you could get a jersey as a kid, for me, when I was really little, was like the Sears catalog.
Or at the stadiums.
And even then, like,
limited.
Very limited.
Like, I could never, I always wanted.
It wasn't until East Bay that it was like you could get.
But I always wanted a gray Oakland, and they never had it unless you bought the, like, authentic, which you can imagine not Pedro was not interested in.
He's not having that.
The authentic. So I had white, and I still have a white McGuire and a white Walt Weiss.
Walt Weiss. Fantastic. Yeah. 3?
He was the third straight.
He wore 3?
No, he wore 7.
7. Yeah.
And he was the third straight Rookie of the Year.
I have no ties to that, and I still think I could get it. Let me try. Carney Lansford at third.
Correct.
Walt Weiss at short.
Yep. A couple ways you can go here at second. There's 3 acceptable answers.
Tony Phillips
yep,
at
that's
second.
one of them. The others would have been Glenn Hubbard
Phillips
or Mike Gallego.
Yeah, Gallego later.
Mike Gallego.
Yep.
McGuire.
Yep.
Steinbach.
Yep.
Canseco. Henderson in left, Canseco in right, and then Dave Henderson in center.
Yeah.
Greg, the DH is the guy who is Parker.
The Cobra.
The Cobra is
Dave
the DH.
Parker.
Yeah, and then you've got. I mean, think about it. I don't have any damn ties. They weren't even my team, and
I
just did the whole
Dave
thing.
Stewart, Bob Welch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Moore.
Yeah.
Eck. Little Rick Honeycutt for you.
They were not my team in any way. I had no rooting interest, but I remember that.
Because they were a juggernaut.
They were, yeah.
They were fun.
Thankfully, they got the one.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Because they probably.
It was marred, though.
It's kind of like.
It was marred by the earthquake.
The earthquake, yeah. Yes, it wasn't even pure joy.
Yeah, we went to 3 in a row. You lost 4-1 to the Dodgers, and the only win was McGuire's walk-off Game 3, which I was at. That's the one where I told the story. I ran to Dwight Clark in his fur coat, and I was like, that dude is a baller.
Of course he was. Fur coat to a World Series game.
And then they swept the Giants in the Bay Bridge Series, and they got swept by the Nasty Boys.
Billy Hatcher hit 600.
Yeah, it was the record. I don't know if it still is. I think it might have been 800.
In
my mind, it was like
crazy,
like 815 or something like that.
Yeah. That sucks though. That's going to be like when they go to Vegas. I guess they're going to be the Vegas A's. Like you can't get rid of the A's part, can you?
They are going to be the A's, and they're making the A look like an Ace A.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know,
that A is so great.
So
great.
Are they?
I bet they go Vegas gold on the colors. Then green and Vegas gold is I bet what they do.
You know, what's so great though is that, and I think it speaks to the difference. Now I could do what you just did for probably a lot of basketball teams, football teams, and baseball teams of that era. Whereas you just named more people than I think I legitimately, if you said like really I had true knowledge of, taking the Guardians out of it because I was just there last night. And I don't even know. I couldn't do their lineup.
I couldn't do it.
No.
No way.
But I could do, maybe I know enough to make a lineup in Major League Baseball now.
Like if you took somebody from every player.
Just all the people
That's the best
I know.
I could take.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, that's how far it's.
Is Jose
faded.
Altuve a second baseman?
Feels like it.
Okay.
Oh, we're way up against it, obviously. I mean, I don't know if we're ever taking a
Robinson
break. But
Cano? Is he still
one
around?
quick thing we have to do out of the gates. Wait, I got to make sure you don't have this somewhere else. Do you have anything? Let me see. Let me just maybe check.
This is
Gotta
good.
Make sure.
I like these.
These are bombs.
These
All
are
right,
for
here
the
you go.
people.
Here you go. Did you guys see Wembanyama last night in New York?
I'm not an athlete.
No.
The first pitch was very sad to me. Is that what you mean?
No.
Or you mean that he was on the subway?
Nope.
Then I don't know.
Where do I have this? All right, so the dude's 7'5", okay? He threw out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium. It looks to me like he's 7'5", 148 on the pounds is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, he's so thin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I saw
Okay,
this
so
trending, and I didn't know what it was.
That
last
is his
night.
hand holding a baseball.
That's terrifying.
Have you seen this?
That's
I don't know if you
terrifying.
You see that?
A little bit.
It looks like if I were holding a marble.
It looks like, you've ever seen the picture of Andre the
Or
Giant
like a mango.
Andre the Giant holding a beer can?
Yes.
It looks like that.
It's even worse than that, though, because the Giant has the rest of the size.
Of the hand.
Like just
It's not
seeing
these fingers.
These fingers, it's like I'm holding a mango.
It's like Avatar. It's
Or
like holding a golf ball.
A tangerine
Looks like if you're holding
or
a
a
golf
golf ball, yeah.
That's wild.
I know he's generational. I just don't
Wasn't
know.
a great pitch, by the way. Did
No,
you
it
see
wasn't because
Not
I
a great
don't.
pitch.
No, I'm sure he's never thrown anything ever.
Yeah. He just
It's
he
wild.
just throws it down. All right.
All right.
By the way, when we come back, I've got some tweets to respond to.
All right,
that
so we got
people listen
tweets.
to.
We also
Yep.
have, in addition to that, we have a new uniform, a new helmet in the NFL. We'll
That
review
was-
what the
yep.
Lions did. You have that to look forward to. We're off and running on a First Friday Miracle Edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. The Detroit Lions, I actually like – all right, there's a lot to break down here. They do their alternate helmet. I like the video. They use the classic Mustang.
The Mustang with the stripes.
It's really cool. I think that's really cool. I think one of the things that people tend to do in these things is anytime somebody does something like this, they're like, oh, it sucks.
Of course.
It's the worst. It sucks.
Yeah.
I guess what else would you do? Like they've done like just the plain silver. They obviously wanted to go with a different lid color. They went with a Honolulu blue. They went with that lion that's more of like the cool. It's
great.
a really cool lion, and then they just have the two stripes in the lion. I suppose if you wanted, the only critique I really had was if you wanted to take the stripes and take them off the line and put them down the middle of the helmet, maybe, because it does seem like a little weird with the stripes on the lion or the lion on the stripes on the side of the helmet. But I think it's more than fine. I'm not going to crush it. I think it's good.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think and because that's a nod. Isn't that a nod to the Mustang?
I think so. To me, it feels like that's a pretty clear what they're doing.
Yeah.
It is inspired by the logo used by the classic Ford Mustang.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's an homage to that.
Yeah, it was designed to celebrate the team's 90th season. The classic logo pays tribute to the team's heritage. A matte gray face mask worn only with the team's all-gray alternate uniform.
I like that. So the blue will pop. Although I wouldn't mind that over
I'd
blue.
like it over
top.
blue.
Yeah,
I would like it over blue.
It actually look good over there white.
It would look
blue
great
numbers.
over all white.
White with blue numbers.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Or even the blue top with the blue pant and a white jersey.
Yeah.
With the blue numbers, that would really
pop it.
I don't like their gray uniform much. But
I'd
I
like
think
to
it's
see
good.
it with the white. I would like to see it with the white.
Yeah. I think it would pop more that way. I saw there was a white one that was going around that was kind of inverted, so it was a white lid with that lion on it that I thought that somebody mocked up. That I think a white always looks
looks
crisp.
good. I think this is good, and I like the stripes. A couple people on the Twitter, Shane said, "What's the verdict, fellas?" I like it. Josh does not like the two stripes.
It's a little weird, but when you realize that it's the stripes, the Mustang.
It's cool.
Like
it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. A race car, like that, like a racing team logo with that lion, and he looks like
Well, and let's remember they are owned by the Ford family.
By Ford. It's Ford Field.
That's right.
No,
so,
I like it.
I think it's good.
I'm a fan.
I think the blue's cool. I think it's I think it's good. I think as a one-off, like there's two ways you can go with these. Like you can either do the throwback and pay homage to something you wore, and in many instances something that's preferred by your fan base to what you currently wear.
Yep.
Or you can go kind of out of nowhere and kind of create something new and futuristic. So we saw Atlanta did that. Like they went that route with it.
Yeah.
The Jets went that route with the black helmet. So there's some out there that have tried that. I think this one looks pretty good, and I think it's really smart that they pull it out of that, that Mustang Mach 1.
Yes. All of it well done. I like it. I'm in. Have fun with it. We'll see it. A couple tweets. No John Wick love for us talking about the 4 movies. Said all 4 were great. I've only seen 2, and I loved both of them.
Okay, so I've never seen a second of either.
Watch the first one.
I've never seen any John Wick.
it's dark, but it's really good.
The first one is
all right.
good.
So is somebody wronged?
Yes.
Do they look for retribution?
Yes.
In.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Then you would
okay.
really like it.
Based on what you just said right there, and now you're in. You watch the first one tonight. It's that good.
It's that good. Okay.
It's that good.
All right. Not appropriate for the children in any way.
No. There is not 1 minute.
No.
You couldn't even watch 5 minutes with the kids.
5 minutes. Oh my God! Especially now with.
Okay.
I won't even
all right.
say.
So
I won't even give a hint.
So I've got. So
Tonight.
that's all I need.
Can you watch it on the plane
Wronged,
tomorrow?
retribution.
No, you want to watch that on a screen.
Okay. All right.
You don't want to watch that on a plane.
All right.
I
have not seen 1 minute of John Wick or Fast and the Furious. Not 1 minute.
Oh,
of
the
those.
original Fast and Furious are great.
They're fun.
They're fun.
There's nothing.
They're all fun.
Yeah.
All of them are fun. Tokyo Drift, fine, could do without, but they're all pretty good. Then the Rock, then they interject the Rock into the mix, and then so.
And he doesn't like Vin Diesel.
Apparently not.
No,
but apparently he comes back in the last one, which I have not seen yet. The Rock's there. Jason Momoa's in the last one as the big bad.
Yep.
Okay.
The one
so
that
they
just
always,
came out.
it's always.
Is Statham in that?
Statham was in
he was in
more in the middle.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
they've done like 10 of them, right?
Yeah, this is They've got it's an excellent franchise. John Wick, though, if that's what you're looking for, and there will be things in there that hit close to home.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I think about like
John
Rambo, Commando, Predator, like all of those have some
And
against all odds, done wrong. There's one man for this job. We were looking for the best. We found you. Like John McClane, Die Hard.
like Liam Neeson,
Dalton.
the guy. I have a particular set of
Specific
skills.
set of skills. Taken.
Yeah, Taken. No, this is.
I'm just guy just living his life. Then all of a sudden you screw with him, and then it's time to go.
Yeah, well, it goes quick. It
Okay.
escalates quickly.
It goes. Yeah, it is
All right, good.
right out.
All right, I look
of
forward to
the
that then.
Gate.
So I've got a few of those that I can.
I want it. I'm
Okay,
expecting. I'm telling you right now. I'm expecting on the group text tonight. I'm expecting a text from you being like.
All right.
So my dad was like on me, like watch this movie, watch this movie, and then we finally watched it when he came, and I was like, I loved it.
Okay.
And I was.
Okay.
You're like.
Yeah, it's good.
It's nonstop, dude.
No.
It is non-stop.
All right. That might.
And
work.
I was my hang up, to be honest, and I apologize because he seems like one of the coolest dudes ever. I just didn't think I could buy Keanu Reeves being John Wick. Like
That's because for us, he's always Ted Theodore Logan.
right. Yeah. Right.
It was like when Speed came out, and Speed was great. Like that was an incredible premise, revolutionary. On a bus, certain
Can't go
mile
below.
per hour.
Yep.
Hoppers in it, but every time I looked at it, it's Ted Theodore Logan.
Yeah,
Wild
see, it doesn't
Stallions.
bother me.
He was fine in The Matrix, though,
The
but that was more
Replacements?
like sci-fi.
He's great in Point Break. He played an Ohio State quarterback twice, Shane Falco,
Yeah.
and in Point Break.
Falco.
Let me tell you something. You'll never look him. He will go forward as John Wick to you.
And it's
after tonight.
amazing
Mark
because
my words.
he's like the best guy ever in real
yeah,
life.
like the best.
Like he helps people. Has
he
no
walks into
ego.
coffee houses and buys everybody's stuff.
Like the nicest guy ever. So that's all right. I look forward to that. I'm gonna.
He will never touch you in a picture as well. Smart guy.
I like it.
So on pictures where his hands here.
Yeah,
he
that's
puts
true.
His hands out here. So you can
he
see
always
his
stays
hands.
it away.
Yeah, or it'll just
It's
float
true.
over his shoulder like this.
Yeah. All right. I'll see if I can.
All right. So Jeff, thank you for that.
I'm gonna have
one.
to beat NBC early so that he can go to
That's
bed.
exactly.
So
Big
beat
Dog
him early.
Status says Vikings to Game of Thrones is like preseason football compared to the regular season, but not bad in a pinch, but just not as good. Fair. I mean, it's the best show ever, so I didn't expect it.
Until the last 3 episodes. Next.
King Leon. No, just the end. You still had an unbelievable that episode.
Just stop. What I tell people now about Thrones is stop it when at night, battle of the night. Stop. Shut
But
it down.
you have to-
and then just
hold on.
let your mind think of what's next, because it's not been
Choose
written.
your own adventure.
That's it.
Hold on.
Don't allow their interpretation of it to wreck the story, which is what it did.
But I feel like you've got to watch the final battle. You've got to watch the Mountain and the Hound fight on those steps with the dragon flying by, and then Cersei and Jaime in the crypt. Like you got to get like some of that resolution is good.
I mean,
some of it's bad, and then stop it. Like don't see what Jon Snow does, and don't see when they make the one guy who's gotten everything wrong the most important guy in the. Don't watch dragons get shot out of
the air with a crossbow
from on a boat.
On a boat,
But it was
that you
hiding.
couldn't see
It was
coming?
hiding behind a rock.
She's 1,000 feet in the air. She can't see it.
Behind the
I don't know.
rock.
Oh my gosh!
To not be able to see behind the rock, you need
Where?
to be like around the height of the rock. She was thousands
Well,
of feet above it.
Could have seen it from a long ways.
Anyway, King Leon says there's going to come a time when your son is going to beat you, and it will not be a good feeling. Trust me, it happened to me. My son beat me so bad, Madden, that I stopped playing.
Oh, that already happened, Leon. It happened with 2K because I can't do the shooting thing. The timing. Everybody's
And everybody's
shooting's
release
different.
is
I just want to hit a button and shoot when I'm open.
Yeah.
No, you got to do the releases are different. So I'm like, and he
You
runs his
can't-
mouth incessantly. So I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm
You
not
can-
playing it. This game's stupid.
You can change the settings for just your guys where it just shoots based on like percentages of what it should be.
Well, that's what I need.
Where you just touch a button and you don't have to.
You totally
But
like.
there's
Why are
something-
you
so
just
when
finding
get
out
good
about
and you
this?
Can green,
I don't have the time.
He doesn't have time.
I don't have the time.
Listen,
Like,
let him. He's in FIFA. Let him.
yeah,
Everybody's
FIFA
happy.
World. I can beat him at golf. I can beat him at the FIFA. I beat him at Madden. But I can't beat him at 2K.
Brand said, my 18-year-old son's whole life, he'd never beat me until last year as a junior with his teammates started to beat me in a foot race that I had to fake an injury as my son started pulling away.
Smart. I like that play.
Darren thinks it's hilarious that we can't bet on cricket.
So
And
we.
Taylor Gang
So
says,
do we.
huge miss on not mentioning Jason Bourne as an athlete. He's weaponizing the perfect human by the United States government. But then he's modified. It's like saying Captain America.
Yeah, he was programmed basically.
Yeah, he's a borderline superhero.
He's a
I think,
borderline
at that
superhero.
point. Yeah. The first one was awesome. The second one was awesome.
I liked all the boards.
Supremacy,
That was
Ultimatum.
fine.
Yeah, those were all great.
I liked them all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
I'm so
that.
excited. I'm actually giddy for you to watch this.
Yeah, I'm excited
John
for
Wick.
this. I mean, I'm in this mood too because I've rewatched Commando and Predator. We did First Blood. NBC. I think we're going to go Die Hard as his first R-rated movie. Is the play on that? I just got to. There's the one scene with the guy in the office.
Yeah.
Lewis or whatever his name is. That guy.
Yeah.
Like there's that one scene I got to remember to.
John, just stop with the games and let's get down here.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
That's my guy.
Then he happens.
No, yeah. So I think we're going to go Die Hard there, but that's it. I think probably an argument would be Bodie in Point Break. I mean, Swayze was formidable on the football field. Like he sprinted in the football field when they're playing football on the beach. He's a surfer.
Yeah.
Feels like he could fight anybody. Swayze just might have been a hell of an
Extreme
athlete.
athlete. Like he jumps out of planes.
Yeah. I think the best athlete actors are Swayze,
Wesley Snipes.
Costner, Harrison Ford. Snipes is the worst basketball player.
He's a bad basketball player, but he's a good athlete.
Yes, but he is the worst basketball player of all time. Somebody tweeted me that Behringer was so bad that they had to have somebody else play catcher in Major League because he couldn't throw the ball.
He had a stunt double in Major League.
Had a stunt double to catch.
That was really Chuck Sheen?
That was Chuck Sheen. Chuck Sheen was like a
Wild Things.
he was a pretty good like youth baseball player.
Yeah.
And Costner, I think, was in the minor leagues in
Yeah.
baseball. The three worst actor playing athlete performances I can think of are Danny McBride, the first season of Eastbound and Down.
Oh, man.
Nuke LaLoosh, Bull Durham,
Oh,
Tim
man.
Robbins
Tim
could
Robbins.
not
No.
throw, and then Wesley Snipes playing basketball. Those
But
are
that
the three worst.
how did they make him? It was just they made him look decent.
Well, Woody was really good.
Woody was good.
So they could rely on Woody on the jump shots. They shoot tight on Snipes, all the dribbling stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't really have him shoot much.
No, just a lot of.
Yeah, it's all the over,
Yeah.
that stuff. Like they don't have him shoot much. He's a terrible basketball player. Absolutely terrible.
He was good. And what was that movie where he was a vampire? Blade?
That's a
run.
good series.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He
When
was
you want
pretty
to
good
do
in that.
Apex Wesley Snipes, it's New Jack City.
Wow.
Nino Brown.
That's
You want to do it. That's it. That's the height of it.
What was the one on the plane?
Passenger.
57.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew that. 57. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. That's iconic.
That is. Yeah. It is. That is iconic. I don't know. Promise.
Jack Ryan from Alec Baldwin to Harrison Ford and even Krasinski, who's not an athlete, they have them. He's able as a normal person to do some pretty incredible things.
Yeah.
Costner walked on for a tryout, did not make college baseball team early in his time at the university.
You can tell though, like that dude's just an athlete. Like the golf swing's good.
Yeah.
The baseball's good. He rides a horse appropriately.
I can't
Anytime
believe
I see that.
What's gonna? Are they really never gonna finish that show?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
just
Now you
over?
got a writer's
I
strike.
was going to say, you got a writer's
All
strike.
this drama behind him. They got
That's what I'm
McConaughey coming in. I don't know why. Like, just shut that part of it down and
Yeah.
branch out.
Just get
right?
it done. You can't have another threat to the ranch.
No, we've done it. It's been done.
Every way it's been threatened.
They literally is the mower. Wow.
Yeah, they're mowing.
Yeah, he's mowing right here.
Undisclosed location. They're mowing.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
ESPN with a big announcement in the last hour.
Go.
Slam ball coming back. Come on.
Slam ball's not going to be a thing. Spike ball's not going to be a thing. Pickleball's. These are all things.
Pickleball is going to be a thing.
They're things
Pickleball
recreationally.
is a thing. Yes.
Like it's really fun to play. Like we play it at our house. It's fun. We put the lines on the court. It's really fun. It's fun to play with anybody. It's fun because if you've never played, you can play competently in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Like it's pretty damn easy.
I've never played.
It's fun. It's a
Pickleball?
good. Yeah,
Never played.
Pickleball's
it'd be great.
fun.
It's really really fun. But it doesn't belong on television.
No, not interested in watching.
So
it.
that's it. Like it can be a thing, but it's not anything that
It
anyone's
doesn't
going to want to
like-
watch.
I did see some people playing pickleball in my neighborhood, and I surmised quickly that it didn't require much.
No.
There are rules, like when at my in-laws' place down in Florida, like I was playing some people, and they're like, there's this rule, there's this rule. I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, there's a lot of rules. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to play.
There are a lot of
with-
rules. if you play 1-on-1, it's a pretty good workout.
Yeah.
But
2-on-2.
typically what they do is they
2-on-2.
play 2-on-2, and you basically don't move.
Yeah. That's what I saw a lot
do
of.
this.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
By the way, for Pedro, not Pedro, and you, 49er guy, Adam Schefter on Pat McAfee right now. There was no trade market for Trey Lance. The 49ers didn't have any trade talks with teams. Brock Purdy, if he's healthy, is number 1. My guess going into camp, Sam Darnold will be number 2.
Gosh, they whiffed on that. They gave up so
That's an
much.
incredible miss.
And to still be
From
and they
Schefter
still went,
3 minutes
they
ago.
whiffed
Yeah.
on that, and they still went to the NFC Championship game last year.
I don't understand how. That feels like a fireable offense.
They could have had Fields, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb.
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Wasn't that Kyle? Didn't he want that guy? He wanted
Yeah.
Lance.
Yeah.
It was Lance or Mac Jones. That did not live well.
Well, none of who's been good from that class. Nobody really, right? Unless I'm totally
There's who
forgetting
went.
somebody
No,
that's a
Lawrence
star.
was one
Yeah, but I mean, they had no
after
shot at
him. Yeah. I mean, I think Fields is the best of the others in the limited stuff that we've seen of him, and I still think Fields in that offense would have been terrifying because he's basically a more accomplished passer than Jalen Hurts with a similar skill set.
Yeah, he would have had it, and it would have helped him, to, obviously, I think, to be there right away.
Yeah, you'd have been in that
beneficial.
spot.
Yeah.
All right, second hour of the program coming up next, CBS Sports Top 100 Players. We'll get to that. Coming up next, though, Chris Simms defends. He defends his choice at number 20 overall. We will get to that as well. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Demand from your favorite four-legged companion. It's year 2 of Barking Backers, presented by Milkbone, the fan club for dogs. View membership options and join today at barkingbackers.com. Yesterday, we had a discussion about Chris Simms and his quarterback rankings, of which much was preposterous. This was in part 1, which was 20 through 40, and the big sticking point was there were several, but one of them was Mac Jones at number 20, one spot ahead of Tua, among others. Here is Simms defending his actions.
All right, you alluded to it.
You're down.
Internal debate on Tua.
I did.
And this next guy on our
You
list,
know that.
number 20.
Yeah, number 20. It's the Mac attack, baby. It's going Mac Jones, right? Again, we're not drafting the team. We're not drafting the organization. We're not drafting the offensive coordinator. We're just trying to pick the quarterback here, okay? And that all goes into this. So that's where Mac Jones comes into play. Better than it seemed last year. I know a lot of people look at it and go, it was terrible. I go, man, if you sat there and watched film with me, you'd go, man, there's a lot of good games, good decisions, good throws. You need some help. There's nothing there. Incredible decision maker, incredible anticipation and accuracy. Incredible. That's where like this guy's damn good, right? Situation was messed up. I mean, the worst offensive coaching in football last year. I think most people would tell you it was the Patriots, right? Offense basic as hell, right? Not even coached as well as it should be, with details. Then you get into, I don't know, who you scared of? What receiver are you scared of on the New England Patriots? Yeah, right. You're going, damn, who are the receivers on the Patriots? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Tyquan Thornton scared me, and then he got hurt a bunch.
Exactly. That's you said it right. That's the guy. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. And he was a rookie and finding his way still. So that's where I want to go again. Where you don't think Mac would have looked different if he was on the Dolphins? How do you think Tua would have looked if he was on the Patriots? That's the real question, right? And he had to run that offense and do that. What? Yeah. So we got to take all of that, kind of into the thinking here, and that's why I'm here to kind of decipher through that. And that's why we do this. So there's a lot to like about Mac Jones. There still is, and I'm a big believer in him still.
But, and I could almost feel the but coming there, his ceiling, correct me if I'm wrong in your thinking here, will always be limited by the things that he can't do, or maybe that elite arm talent.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. Do I ever look at Mac Jones and go, ooh, I think he could be a top 6 or 7 quarterback if it all goes right? No, probably not. Do I think he could be like 9, 10, or 11 for like 10 years in a row? Yeah. Like how Jimmy Garoppolo is like in year 10 of being 21 there. Like I could see him being there. Yes. What's amazing for him, right? And then again, when we talk about lack of weapons and all that, early in the year, you heard me say he got a little, I'm going to try to make some things happen, and he threw some dumb interceptions, some things that were kind of outside of what we've seen him do, right? So that was probably the Baltimore game. I brought that up before the podcast, right? You go back and watch the Baltimore. He made a lot of awesome throws and awesome plays. Threw one bad interception, then threw a really bad one down in the red zone, and then the game's kind of over. Calais Campbell pulled him to the ground with kind of a semi-cheap shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he threw an interception on that play.
I remember that, yeah.
And now he's hurt, and now they win a game with Bailey Zappi, and it's Mac Jones sucks, Bailey Zappi's awesome. It changed just like that. I mean, literally just like that. So, but getting back to the point, even though the arm is not like wow arm, right? It's above NFL average, and because of the other things what I talked about, his anticipation, his accuracy, his ability to hang in the pocket and see in the field and all that, he makes a number of unbelievable, power throws.
Like what's an example of something that made you go, wow, with his anticipation that it's at a higher level than most other quarterbacks out there?
One, open is not, how we talked about with Justin Fields, in an in-cut or a crosser where you go, wait, the receiver's got the guy beat by a yard. That's open in the NFL. Where Justin Fields, that's a little tight. Mac is no, this guy's on him like glue. And he's no, his right shoulder pad has a spot there that's open. I can hit that. So he has the great confidence there. But then he has a great ability to he knows the defense and what might be available, right, before the snap. And that's what a lot of good quarterbacks do. Ooh, I like this play against this coverage. This guy might be open, right?
Yeah.
So he has a feel for what might be coming, right? Where I could tell you some other quarterbacks that we've talked about already, I go, they don't have that feel. That's what I mean by natural feel. But, like, what game was it? I think it was the Vikings game. I was watching throws from the Vikings game. He throws a crossing route, and Harrison Smith is there, right? But Harrison Smith, like, he took a step up too far, so he sees that. But it's Harrison Smith still there. But as he's getting ready and still looking at it, he notices that Harrison Smith has turned his back a little bit, so he can't really see. Even though this is going to be tight, he's not going to be able to make a play on the ball because he's not really seeing me throw it. He doesn't see me releasing it, right? And those are things where I go, that's like year 5 quarterback throw right there. That's guts, accuracy, feel, anticipation. Let alone the guy was being covered by a crossing route. But the real thing was like, oh, wait, I could drop it over there. And, yeah, it's going to be tight. And Harrison Smith is damn good, and he's going to be there. But he ain't looking right now. His body's not in the position to make the play. And that, to me, is what he has. And, again, that's where you chopped off one of his great attributes last year by putting those offensive coaches with him. He is one of those guys, and, we've hit on this. Kirk Cousins, him, the reason, like, the Shanahans of the world, the McDaniels of the world like these guys because they go, wait, I have a ton of answers, and they can handle them all. They can digest it all at the line of scrimmage in the huddle and when they draw back, and that's where his great strength is, and that was taken away from him last year.
Yeah, and despite what they had going on last year with Matt Patricia, his numbers, they dropped off, but they didn't drop off a cliff. The touchdowns and interception ratio was worse, but, yards per game was about the same here. He was sacked just a little bit more times. So, I think that's a credit to him as a quarterback, despite what was ever happening there. And Mike Giardi, who covers who used to work at the NFL and now has been covering the Patriots for a long time, he's still tweeting about him. He said, this is what he's heard about him so far. He said, continued positive reviews from teammates, coaches who have been around Mac Jones.
Yes.
The longest. They go, confident, leading like we know he can, ready to remind you, the media and the fans, why he was a playoff quarterback in year 1, energized by the change of Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator.
Do we ever hear anything different about Mac Jones? See, that's another thing where...
Well, except for last year when he dared reach out to maybe Bill O'Brien or someone else to figure out how to figure out this Patriots offense. He went behind Bill's back to try to get better on his own.
I think it definitely got him in the doghouse. Definitely to that. I've yet to hear a player or a coach really around him who doesn't think he's a top-notch leader that brings edge and energy to the football team every day. He's got more to him than people realize. I know he looks like, John
back in 30
Finch or Polo
Finch.
Fitch, sorry.
Yeah.
Goldfinch.
You've been buying the knockoff brand, I think.
I know he looks like one of those guys like in the in the book or their website, but there's confidence and talking in Mac Jones from everybody I hear. He's got incredible leadership skills that way. That the durability and that aspect right there were definitely a part of the nudge of why I gave him the edge over Tua. Like I said, it was a nitpicky stuff there.
You're up.
He is Chris Simms is a great apple of your eye at the Combine, Gibby. One of your great lurks is to find Chris Simms because he's great at content. He is.
Boy, is he.
He brings it. He brings it strong. He defends it. I don't even know.
He's a big fan of our guy.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Deshaun.
He was a big fan of Bake last year.
Was he?
Had him 17 on the list this year. He still has him 24 on the list. He had Watson 13 on the list last year. He had Mac Jones 18 on the list last year. So he liked Mac Jones. Last year he liked Mac Jones more than Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts. He had Jalen Hurts 25.
Goff 30?
Goff was 30.
Yeah, Geno Smith 33.
33 Geno Smith, 30 Goff, 29 Tua.
The one of those that I think
24 Trevor Lawrence.
The big,
Trubisky 27.
Yeah, this is great. He's got Carson Wentz. Last year he had Carson Wentz ahead of Trevor Lawrence. It's tough. There's guys he obviously likes. Like he doesn't like Mac personally, and because there's nothing that would back up. And at one point, like he's clearly like looking for something for an example of what separates him, and it's hard to find. So at least he defends it. He gave you. That's the beauty of him, though, right? Like he just did 8 minutes on Mac Jones.
Yeah. It was good. It sounded like he was watching somebody that wasn't Mac Jones at the times when he said the
the
power.
way he was talking
like the
about
power
it.
throws from the pocket. Like
Yeah. Huh. Doesn't feel like the Mac
he
Jones
does the
was-
work, though. I have a lot of respect for Chris and his opinions. He definitely does the work. It's interesting. He had Matt Ryan 14 last year. Tannehill ahead of Cousins, which makes me think that he thinks if Tannehill were in Minnesota, they'd be more explosive, which I don't necessarily see. Nobody saw the fall of Russell Wilson.
He's always
happening.
been a big Tannehill fan.
Yeah, he has
Well,
Tannehill
there's-
pretty high this year, too, doesn't he?
He likes, and he
Yes.
must have something against, like he doesn't like Garoppolo
No.
at all. He doesn't like Goff at all.
He had Goff 30th.
He had Goff 30th last year.
behind Trubisky and Mariota.
and Zach Wilson.
Your boy.
He had
mean,
Zach
it's-
Wilson after his rookie season ahead of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think he had him ahead going into the draft, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
sometimes
he
you
was
just
aboard
have
that
to.
train.
Sometimes you just have to admit you blew it, boy, and
It just-
I had the analysis wrong, and we'll.
And it happened because
Sort
it's
it
a
out
hard.
down the road.
There's so many things that go into quarterback evaluate. Like, yeah, it happens. There's nothing, no shame. It's hard. If it were easy, every team would have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, and he's not wrong when he starts off his argument. Like, the Patriots had the worst offensive coaching in the NFL last year.
Yeah, you can say
They didn't do him any
and
favors.
You could say they had the worst offensive coaching. They have among the worst skilled position talent in the league.
Yep.
All of that can be true, and it can also be true that are we sure Bailey Zappi isn't better? I mean, that's
Yeah.
true too.
Bailey Zappi's performance against us, I don't know. That was
That was stupefying.
disheartening.
Yeah, that was.
Boy.
That
The
was
only good thing that happened that game, if I'm not mistaken, was Miles set the franchise sack record. Other
Yes.
than that, not a lot good happened.
I can tell you that was the Beamsy birthday game
Yeah,
that we went to.
It was
That
a
one
quick day.
It was
It's
a
a quick hook.
gorgeous day.
it's perfect.
Saw you down on the field. Saw you. It was wonderful to see it. And was we were quite thrilled about that. That was a very. I picked it on purpose because I'm like, this one seems very winnable.
And then Bailey
The weather's
Zappi.
good. Bailey Zappi's in. Like, I ride Chubb. Let's get the hell out of here, enjoy ourselves, and get a win for Beamsy. And it went the other way
Boat raced.
badly.
In my mind, it was like 35-14.
That was
I
that
think
was
you're right.
honestly when that was the game when I went, well, it's too much to overcome.
Yeah.
That-
Well,
that
because
was the one.
we had just lost to the Chargers the week
Chargers the week before,
which we
which-
should have won. Missed,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the one that he wanted to go to, was that one. And I'm like, I don't like the odds of Herbert in here. Like, let's roll with the Patriots operation. That feels like the more likely win. In retrospect, the Chargers at least had joy until the very end.
Yeah, and you got MJ Emerson making a fourth down
Yeah.
stop. You get the ball back near midfield. You couldn't believe they went for it, and then no,
Yeah.
negatory, good buddy. Let's see. What did I say? 35-14 is what that felt like. 38-15 was the Patriots.
Well, it just waterfalled.
38-15.
Those touchdowns just
I want
kept-
to say there was like a third down and a short run from like the 30, and then it was just like the parting the season. He just ran straight in the end zone.
Oh, yeah. I believe it happened a couple times.
Yeah.
We didn't stop anybody up the
Yeah,
middle.
Ramondre had 76 and 2 touchdowns. Zappi, 24 of 34, 309, 2 touchdowns. Sheesh.
Yeah, that's
a
why people
brutal
wanted
day.
to forget about Mac Jones real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ramondre. It's 31 yards.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah.
31 yards. Hunter Henry had a 31-yard touchdown.
That was late. That was in the fourth quarter. That was the
No, that would put him up. That was the late third, put him up 24-6. Then Tyquan Thornton, their draft pick, had the run on the reverse for 19, and then Ramondre got another one, 38-15. We cut it to 24-15. Amari to Jacoby to Amari for.
They should have
15.
been cutting into our lead.
Well,
Should have
yeah,
gone the
of
other way.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So last year we were just curious for perspective. You had Allen 1. So you had Allen ahead of Mahomes. Allen 1, Mahomes 2, Herbert 3, Burrow 4, Rodgers 5, Stafford 6, Russell 7, Brady 8, Prescott 9, Lamar 10. And then Derek Carr, who he has 19, I think, this year. He had him 11. Kyler 12, Deshaun 13, Ryan 14, Tannehill 15.
That runs out of the
16.
league.
Yeah, correct. Bake 17, Mac 18, Carson Wentz 19, Garoppolo 20. So he obviously, where does he had Goff this year? Like, he had Goff 30. That's just ridiculous.
He had Goff 30 and
Lawrence-
Jalen Hurts 25 and Lawrence 24.
Lawrence 24 is.
Those guys could all be.
The other thing with Lawrence too is like the second half of that absurd year he had with Urban,
you started,
to
to
go.
see. Yeah.
So like you should have been able to see what Lawrence was building towards.
So his, and we'll get into this more next week, obviously. Which ones did you want to know? He had
Goff, because he has Goff 30.
He has Goff 17.
It's
He has
probably
Derek
low,
Carr
but that's
18, Kyler Murray 19, Mac Jones 20. He's got Fields in the same spot, 23.
Just no progress there.
No, Geno Smith up to 15 from 33.
I can understand Geno at 33. It's not like anybody saw that coming.
No.
Like, I get that
But
one.
Goff-
I think, but Goff and Lawrence especially, like even Hurts, like he has Hurts too low. He shouldn't have been 25. Like,
Correct.
he gave you a little bit to where you would see that he was better than that, but nobody saw last year coming from Jalen Hurts.
No.
That
I mean,
wasn't-
now he has to be in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
He is number 7, not in the top 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing that's a little tough. And like
He put
has
Daniel
Goff-
Jones up 11 spots. Jones is number 11.
Yeah. Number 11?
Number
That's too high.
11.
He had
we'll get into this.
the
next
idea that
week
he
and higher or
has
lower, but-
the idea though that he had Jared Goff last year behind Mariota, Trubisky, honest to God,
Even
Winston,
Jameis. Yeah.
Jameis, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Come on, that's not right.
No.
That's not right. And the Garoppolo stuff's not right either. Like, unless you're going to come on like I did yesterday when we were talking about with AP, like if you're going to come on and say, look, the guy can't stay healthy. Like if you're going to hold that against him, like if you're going to hold that against Tua, then I guess
he just wins. Like
yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo
but like Garoppolo
wins.
just wins when he's healthy. He wins. Period.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Might be
That's it.
tough in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Gibbe. Do you want to do? We want to do the player, the 100 ranking. Where do you want to go here, pal?
Yeah, we can go Prisco.
All right, we'll do Prisco's top 100 NFL players coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The last time with their new home exteriors, now introducing new composite-clad siding featuring beautiful deep grain. It's gorgeous.
Deep grain.
Look of real wood in 20 available colors. Keep that just-installed look for a lifetime with this low-maintenance siding option. Right now, take advantage of no interest or payments for 24 months. Renew Home Exteriors, superior products, superior service. Visit renewestimate.com for more. Before we get into Prisco, I saw this from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They put out a tweet of best fictional movie quarterback of all time is. It said you can pick one, and they used Shane Falco of The Replacements.
Okay.
Junior Floyd. I don't know what that's from. I didn't see that movie. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Yeah.
Something from the early 80s, it looks like to me, maybe. Paul Crewe with Sandler or Paul Crewe with Reynolds. First of all, it's definitely Paul Crewe Reynolds because Burt Reynolds was a stud at Florida State.
Yeah.
So he's a legit.
Yeah.
So that's a correct answer.
Those are the only four they've given
Those
you?
are the four they mentioned. Who do you think is the best fictional quarterback ever?
Well, in my mind right now, I'm going back to
Junior Floyd, Little Giants.
Yeah, no, come on.
Come on.
Come on. I love Little Giants, but don't get me wrong.
So, in any given Sunday,
Willie Beeman.
Schemin' Willie Beeman or Screamin' Willie Beeman. It was Schemin' Willie Beeman. He's got the scheme, something like that.
Yeah.
Willie Beeman. Steamin' Willie
Steamin'
Beeman. There it is.
Willie Beeman.
Makes
That's the
sense.
first one that I quote tweeted and I put Willie Beeman in the video as that.
But
Cap.
we don't get footage of him, but Cap is talked about as though he were
Marino, I think,
yes.
is what it seems like.
So
it
in
feels,
my
or
mind,
like Montana.
Or Montana. That's what I felt like. He was like
like
the
they won
goat.
the championships, like they won the whatever cup
Yeah,
with
not
him.
Marino. Yeah, sad for him.
Yeah, sad. Marino couldn't do it. Yeah, like Cap Rooney does feel like he's probably.
So we didn't see it at that point,
We
but
did not see it.
it felt like he was like regarded as the Joe Montana, and they're going to run him out for Steve
Young. Yeah, I've never thought of that. And by the way, isn't Willie Beeman left-handed? Because Jamie Foxx is
I
left-handed.
think you're right. I think you may have that.
I think that's right.
I'd like it to
well,
be.
I have a top 25 fictional quarterbacks. if you'd
I
like
think
to go
I
through.
think that we have the
yeah,
right
I
answer
want that.
here.
But
we don't
I like
see
your,
it.
Yeah, you don't ever see Cap because
You just
he's
know
washed
it.
kind of at that point, and they were,
Yeah.
James Woods was screwing with him with all the meds to get him out on the field and ready to play. Willie Beeman was the one that we saw that I think was the best of them, right?
But I think he never like Cap's level. Cap is like Joe Montana. I think. I feel like that's how he's presented.
Fox was an athlete of some repute coming
Yeah.
out of high school. I'm pretty sure he played quarterback in high school for his team, and so that's part. Like LL Cool J wanted that gig, and the fact that
They made him the running back.
Yeah, they made him the running back, and he was bitter. Led to a big fight on the set between him and Jamie Foxx, like a fist fight on the set.
Uncle L.
Yeah, they fought.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think. Where's the 30 for 30 on the making of that movie? Then I'd be very interested in it. How they do the football scenes with some of the real
the great
players.
Jim Brown crushed every scene in that.
Yes.
He was so good. LT. Yeah, that's got a 30 for 30 written all over it. That would be incredible. The making of Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
They got to do that while Oliver Stone is still lucid.
Yeah.
Lucid, get that all sorted out. I think that's the way you got to do that.
Yes.
I think it's probably Paul Crewe Burt Reynolds was a stud. He was a hell of a player at Florida State. All right, give it to me. Give me the list.
I can give you a few other options.
All right, give it. Who are we missing?
Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
I mean, he could throw it over a mountain, but it's all just in his head.
It's all,
Amen.
That's Al Bundy.
The quarterback from the Waterboy, G. Granule.
Nah.
No.
Rick Sanford in Angus.
Nah.
Nope.
Charlie Sheen, who plays Cappy in the movie Lucas. Ever even heard of that?
Lucas, yes.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure. I remember Lucas. Yeah.
That
Lavender Bird
Corey-
Williams
Corey
from
Haim?
Wildcats.
It's the one that's in. Yeah.
Not Feldman.
It's not Feldman. It's Is it Haim?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
it's Haim. Yeah.
Lavender Bird
Who
Williams.
who from Wildcats?
Lavender Bird Williams
Okay.
is his name in Wildcats. Michael Anthony Hall plays Johnny Walker and Johnny Be Good.
I mean, he was a stud. He was a blue chipper.
Yep.
He was basically the kid from Varsity Blues before the knee hit.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
Where's Cap Rooney on this list?
Number 18 is Brendan Fraser, who plays
No.
David Green in School Ties.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, he was a big-time player. He was good.
It's Brendan Fraser, though.
Number 17, Johnny Moxon, Varsity Blues.
Mox has got to be behind Lance Harbor, though. Lance Harbor was the 5-star
Lance
commit.
Harbor's number 16.
Yeah, Lance
on
Harbor
your
should be
list.
top 10. He was a 5-star. He's going to Florida State.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Texas high school quarterback. He should be in the top 10.
Kurt Russell plays Reno Hightower in The Best of Times.
That's the great what if.
Yeah.
In that one, he was a high school quarterback, but he wasn't. There's no way he could be possibly ahead of Lance Harbor.
No.
The Rock plays Joe Kingman in The Game Plan.
No.
My kids have seen that, but it's not really believable that he's a
No,
quarterback.
it's not believable. It's quarterback at all.
No.
Number 13, Warren Beatty plays Joe Pendleton in Heaven Can Wait. I
got
idea.
nothing on that.
They have Adam Sandler
No.
playing Paul Crewe in The Longest Yard 12B. This is Adam Rank's list.
Okay.
Yeah.
12A is Paul Crewe, Burt Reynolds.
Well, yeah, that's got to go higher.
Both of those have to be higher.
I don't know if Sandler can
Sandler
do
doesn't have to
anything,
be
but
higher,
I
yeah.
feel like that Reynolds has to go
Yes.
higher.
Yeah.
Willie Beam and Jamie Foxx is number 11, any given
Okay.
Sunday.
All right.
So-
Should be higher, I feel like. I'm
Yep.
curious who this 10 could be, considering who's already been named.
There's-
Joe Kane better be on this.
There's another any given Sunday,
Yes.
Dennis Quaid playing Cap Rooney.
What
At
number
what
is he?
number?
Number 10.
See,
I
Number
feel like
10.
yeah,
he's
it's a problem because we don't get enough. The backstory's there, but we don't see him playing.
he's
enough
presented as being Joe Montana.
as like a
though.
Montana
Yeah.
Aikman type player. Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell playing Frank Cushman and Jerry Maguire. Is
First
at
pick
number
in the
9.
draft. Yeah, first pick in the draft. That's probably fair.
That's fair, but we don't see him either. So it's
No.
going on. He's said to be first pick. This other guy was said to be the best in the professional league.
Yeah.
He was the GOAT.
At number 8, Damon Wayans playing Jimmy Dix in The Last Boy Scout.
Boy, you want to talk improbable film scenes? That's way up there.
Yep. Number 7, Scott Bakula playing Paul Blake in Necessary Roughness.
He can't be ahead of Cap Rooney. He's not an MVP of the league. He's not a first-round number 1 pick. So I think he's got to be down on this list.
Number 6, Ted McGinley playing Stan Gable in Revenge of the Nerds.
No.
No way.
Why is
He's-
that?
I mean,
not
that's-
sure.
Yeah, he's got to be much lower on that list. He
Yep.
loses his girl for crying out loud.
Yes.
Keep her happy.
At number 5, Craig Sheffer playing Joe Kane in The Program.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
he should be in the top 10, but he shouldn't be ahead of Beeman, Cap. He should not be ahead of those cats. But he was a Heisman guy in the program.
Kane won the Heisman Trophy the following year, the first overall selection by the Bengals in the 95 NFL.
Oh, they're saying that he had that type of year the next year.
Yeah.
That's another one where, like, the video of him playing, like, it's very clear, like, Craig Scheffler's got to be, like, 5'8".
So, all right, going back to Ted McGinley, Revenge of the Nerds, what happened after the camera stopped rolling? The Rams selected Gable in the second round of the 85 NFL Draft. The rookie replaced Dieter Brock midway through the year, led the Rams to an upset of the Bears in the championship game, ultimately winning Super Bowl XX. The Rams became the NFC dynasty of the 80s, and the club never moved. Rank.
So his life turned out okay then
Yeah.
Yeah.
after she left him.
Number 4, Keanu Reeves and Shane Falco.
Falco's 4. So does he have him ahead of Johnny Utah? Johnny Utah won a Rose Bowl at Ohio State.
All right. So this guy's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, Cap Rooney,
So he's Aikman.
and he was the best. They were the best team for like the past decade.
Yeah, he should be number 1.
He should be number 1.
All right, who do we got at the top?
Number 3, Mac Davis playing Seth Maxwell from North Dallas 40.
I haven't seen that. I don't
That's-
have a point
no.
of reference.
Number 2 is Johnny Utah. Point
Yeah.
Break.
I mean, the knee injury happens or whatever, but he shouldn't be ahead of Cap or Beeman or those guys, but he should be up on that list.
Number 1 is Sam Jones playing Flash Gordon from the movie Flash Gordon. That's number
I don't have
1.
a point on that either.
Not a clue.
Feel like Cap Rooney's probably the right answer.
I thought
and
Flash Gordon was like fought aliens.
and we don't have I think you're right on the Cap because we don't see him really go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never see him, but I mean, the resume. They're the,
The
best team in
resume
the
speaks
decade.
for
He's the best
itself.
quarterback in the
Yeah.
league for a decade. 2 championships.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon. Is that the Flash Gordon? Like Is this the guy from the 80s who like fights aliens?
I have no idea. I wasn't a Flash Gordon guy. I don't know what that guy is. That guy's number 1 though, huh?
Yep.
Although
Number 1 in this, according to Adam Rank.
All right.
So, although NASA's scientists are claiming the unexpected eclipse and strange hot hail are nothing to worry about, Dr. Hans Zarkov knows better and takes football star Flash Gordon, Sam Jones, and travel agent Dale Arden with him into space to rectify things. They land on planet Mongo, where the despot Ming the Merciless is attacking Earth out of pure boredom.
Good Lord.
With the help of a race of Hawkmen, Flash and the gang struggle to save their home planet.
That's formidable. Hawkmen?
Men who are hawks.
I mean, I'm almost with my
Is
fear
that
of
like
birds.
also the Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes type?
I don't know, but how can
stuff?
you? I feel like we don't get enough to know about his football prowess. We just
How
know that
formidable are these Hawkmen? Let me just get a look.
they
at
look pretty
this.
good in this poster.
So
they look like men with. They look like.
Oh, geez.
They're like.
Gordon was a
yeah.
popular New York Jets quarterback before saving Earth.
Not so good in the live action.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not quite as
We
formidable.
can't be sure about his passing skills. In parentheses, we'll just assume they were impressive. But his display on the planet Mongo showed he was pretty adept at running out of the pocket.
So he had some
I
skills.
guess.
I don't know.
I think you got it right. I think Cap's probably the answer. Willie Beeman would be on the list. Cushman should be on the
Yes.
list. He would be in the top
yeah.
5.
Lance Harbor.
Yeah, Lance Harbor's a 5-star. He definitely would be higher on that. And then Paul Carew would be
Yes.
way up there as well. Those are probably the guys you're looking for.
And there it is.
That's where you're at. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. This is Pete Prisco, CBS Sports. His top 100 player. This is the trial of Prisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
He's already.
He's already on vacation. I already reached out. He's like, Gibbs, I'm on vacation. Don't bother me.
Where's he working? What's he doing?
These guys do
What's he
this like
doing?
an hour or a week ago.
So he has Zeke not ranked this year. This was wasn't he? Was it 2 years ago? He had Zeke ahead of
Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
and we put him on trial.
Yeah.
and it lasted 10 seconds.
And he got. We put
flummoxed.
his brain in a pretzel in a real hurry. And he was like.
Yeah,
but
those are within a few months of each other. The trial of Pedro
Two
and the
Petes.
trial of Pete Prisco. Those two trials were within a few months of each other.
Yeah.
And both were decisive wins for us.
Yeah, one was in 19 and one was in 20 because it was going into the 20 season.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. All right, our guy's on his top 100. He has Nick Chubb 33.
Okay.
So he has him only behind McCaffrey and Derrick Henry
Okay.
at running back. Okay, that's fine. It's all. I take Nick Chubb over anybody, but I understand that. Joe Bitonio is 49. Denzel Ward is an honorable mention. Miles is 5th on the list, 5th in the league. So it goes Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Nick Bosa, I assume,
Yes.
Myles Garrett, Travis Kelce, Justin Jefferson, Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald, Trent Williams. Those are the 10.
So I'm surprised that Zadarius Smith isn't on the list, and obviously Deshaun Watson.
Neither one were even honorable mention.
Zadarius Smith
Does he
won
get
a-
around Deshaun by the fact that he didn't play much last year? Is that how he's getting
Probably,
around
but he
it?
doesn't want to deal with it.
He doesn't want to deal with it.
Zadarius Smith, though, he was Pro Bowler last year, double-digit sacks. He's one of 5 players in the league with 10
Yeah.
or more in the last 4 seasons. I mean, it feels like he would make the list.
He says about Garrett, he tied for second in the league in sacks with 16, remains one of the most dominant edge players in the league. Now that they've added some pass rush help, his numbers might be even better this season. So that's alluding to Zadarius.
And Obo.
And Obo, both in
And
the
Dalvin
mix.
Tomlinson.
Yeah. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, any issue?
No. I'm surprised, honestly, that I love where he has Kelsey. I think that's pretty spot on. I'm surprised that T.J. Watt's not on the list because of the difference when we remember those stats.
T.J. Watt is number 11.
He's
Tyreek Hill is number 12.
in my mind, you'd take Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt before you took Nick Bosa, but I could be wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that's
Better not let your father hear you talk like that.
Nick Bosa is obviously he's elite, and he led the league in sacks last year. But I'm just surprised T.J. Watt's not in the top 10 because when their defense, it was like 8 points. It was like a quarterback
They were
difference.
3-8 or 2-8.
That
or
was the
something.
most
They came back
remarkable. We do a lot of that. Like we get some stuff from PFF, or like you get wins above replacement type stuff. The T.J. Watt difference in points per game was 8. If memory
over
serves.
8. Yeah, and that's turnover ratio.
Yeah.
There are turnovers. I think he was worth like 3. His presence was worth, I think, 2 or 3 sacks a game and a turnover a game and 8 points. Like that's insane.
That's nuts. I remember when we had that. You brought that to the attention. And usually you're like, "Are you ready for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure." I mean,
That was
we're
a
really
jaw dropper.
Really going to blow the mind, and then you go an 8-point difference with one player defensively.
Defensively, right. And the only other person that I think had that big of a differential last year was Lamar Jackson, but he's a quarterback. So that makes sense, but
fine.
that's still big. But to do that as an edge rusher, wild.
Yeah, it's just not at all possible in any way. Are we to so much more to come?
Yeah, Paulus is like, we got to stack again.
so much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
All right, so that's on me.
Jeez, Gibby.
Math.
Hold on.
We're gonna be better at
Paulus,
math here
I
on the
thought there was
program.
90 seconds to. We're
I mean,
coming
like
back in
4
and
minutes.
Beau's like,
That's-
how much time we got left?
I mean, we got it,
We're
fellas.
back
I
in
don't need
4
no 4
minutes.
minutes. We've done the lifting.
No, you're done. You're on vacation.
I've done the heavy
You're
lifting.
on vacation.
It's a Wednesday. I've done. I gave you a 40-minute block. We've done it. We've given the people what they want.
Oh, I screwed the pooch on that.
One of my favorite times is when like these nonsensical NBA trades that do nothing. So Kristaps Porzingis is going to go to Boston. So it's the Wizards,
still in
Celtics,
the
and
league?
He
the
was
Wizards,
so good.
Celtics,
He's
and
so good.
Clippers are in strong talks on a trade that would send Porzingis to Boston, Marcus Morris in draft compensation to Washington, Malcolm Brogdon to Los Angeles. They're still working through the details. Porzingis, $36 million player option. And does that make Boston any better? Like
If he's
against
healthy.
Denver? I don't know. What is he now? Has he been good in a while?
I don't know.
Before all the injuries?
I'm biased. He's awesome on 2K, or he was.
7-3. That's like when I was trying to explain to somebody about Wembanyama. I said, the problem with Wembanyama, like tried to explain like his physical traits, like it's how my kids do create a player on 2K.
Yeah.
When they create a player, they make them like 7'7", and I'm like, you idiots. There's no precedent for somebody this tall, this skinny, this athletic to play point guard. Like make him 6'6". There's no reason for him to be that tall.
All right, hold on
That's
a second.
Wembanyama.
By the way,
Porzingis played 65 games last year for Washington.
Okay.
I don't think you had this. I did not have this. Kristaps Porzingis last year, as I said, in 65 games, played 33 minutes a game. He averaged 23.2 points a game, 8.5 rebounds a game, shot 85% from the line, 56% from the field, 39% from three. I'm sorry, 50% from the field, 39% from three, 85% from the line. He's averaged 20-plus points a game in 2017, 2019, 2020, 2021. He hasn't played. 65 is the most games he's played since 2016. But yes.
By the way,
he can still play.
The kid chiming in. Why are the Pacers allowed to make a trade that clearly doesn't help them at all?
Yeah, they're trading like 2 picks, better. I don't know what they're doing.
Nobody's doing anything. None of these trades do anything.
Porzingis can still play.
Well, the only thing about like numbers on bad teams guy.
Agreed.
That's the only thing.
Agreed. People are saying wow to it, though. I see some wow.
Oh, everybody always gets so excited. They get so excited with an NBA trade. Like
Yeah.
the Bradley Beal one. I mean, there's like nobody else on that roster now.
No.
And you're telling me that that's going to be good enough to be Joker?
I'll tell you what, Cleve TA, who's I feel like fairly plugged in, says such a good move for Boston. Dang them. He didn't say dang them.
No.
Cleve TA, though.
Cleve
Now
TA's
I'm
on it.
nervous.
Now he's all right.
Now
very
it's a
good.
big
He's dialed
move.
in.
It's a big move for the Celts.
All right, the next level is coming
Enjoy
up next.
Bon voyage.
your time, my friend.
I'll see
Well
you
deserved.
boys,
Voyage.
Picking up Zegura
Monday.
slack while he
Yeah, I was gonna
vacations
see the
20
difference
weeks
there, by
out of the
way.
year.
He goes, "You're so well deserved. I go on vacation." He's so mad. You guys, God, believe it.
Next level's up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.